Hello, and welcome. Welcome back to Better Together. Welcome to November. I am so excited to be back with you guys. Excited about this time of the year. This is my absolute favorite, and excited about our guests. So our guests are going to focus on tips and tricks to make this holiday season the best for you and for your customers. So we have Miss Rose Slack and Tammy Clary, our special guests, and each of them has something to share that we're hoping can move your season from better to best. So we'll go ahead and start off with Rose. Rose is a manager from North Carolina, left Empower ready to go and get started. She earned rewards for new business in our Share in September challenge. She added 5 customers then, and then didn't slow down. In October, she enrolled 7 new customers and off to an absolute running start in November, I'm sure. So first of all, Rose, I want to say congratulations and welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Doing great.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you began with us in 2018, and clearly something switched, right? Something sparked with you and your business. So I want to know what sparked that change, or kind of getting started and really growing your customer base.
Well, the surge that just started back at Empower when Rick announced Play by the Bay. My cousin, Nanette Strickland, who was the new consultant of the year that you interviewed a while back, she and I said, wouldn't that be a great girls trip? So we kind of challenged each other. And then on top of that, Cindy Avery, our team leader, I called her our fearless leader. She had her own challenge for Play by the Bay. And I won these really cool sunglasses.
I love
it on it.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, she had some really good prizes.
That's awesome.
But we miss her so much.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was basically that started it.
That trip. I mean, what better reason to kind of get going, add those new customers? That's absolutely a good enough reason. So when you and Nanette were like, okay, let's do this, let's earn this trip, what was your first step? What did you do first? How were you finding these new customers?
Well, when I see someone, the first thing I notice is their complexion and their makeup. And my daughter was with me one time, and I was saying, oh my gosh, she needs some true aura. And she said, is that the first thing that you see? I said, it really is. And I don't want it. I mean, but I'm always thinking about someone's complexion and how I can help them. It's kind of a mindset for me. I love making women look and feel beautiful in their own skin. And that's what I say my passion is. That's why I do this. I don't do it for the money. I just love helping people.
I love that. So you see them and you're like, hey, how can I help you? How can I get these products on your skin? How does that conversation start? Are these obviously friends that you reach out to? You offer them to try the product? How does that work?
Well, one thing that has really helped me is my husband retired. I'm a retired school teacher of 33 years. We moved to the coast of North Carolina when he retired. So we're in this beautiful neighborhood of 400 homes. And I'm making all kind of new friends.
I love it.
Adding them to my regular Facebook and then to my personal Facebook. And they're reaching out and wanting to try the products. And then, they're offering to host. I haven't used the hostess program much in the past at all. But this has been a good catalyst for me to make more friends and add them to my personal Facebook group.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of my hostesses, and I've got 2 or 3 virtual parties going on in 1 week.
Oh, wow.
And Diane Stem Campiano, she's my fearless leader now. She, we talk a lot, and I have lots of questions, and she has to keep reminding me, Rose, remember we talked about this. But I talked to her a month or so ago, and I said, Diane, I'm working really hard, and I don't want to work hard. I want to work smart. And I've got these
Sure.
parties going on, and it was just taking a lot of my time. And she said, Rose, did you know you could pull up several Facebook groups at one time? And I went, really? And it was a light bulb moment. So,
Wow.
On a given morning when I'm doing my work, I've got my Facebook group pulled up, and I've got the
Right.
parties,
Parties up.
so
Oh,
I just
wow.
kind of work them all at the same time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Most
so
people probably know that,
the
but I didn't.
virtual oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. The virtual events that you're hosting, these are the new people that you're meeting and you're adding them to your Facebook and they're showing interest in the product and you put them there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one of my hostesses just recently maxed out the hostess party benefits. She had over
Wow.
1,000 sales
Oh my
and
gosh.
$200 credit toward for a future purchase. So,
That's amazing.
they're seeing that they can really win some
Earn the
things
rewards.
for
Yeah,
themselves. Yeah.
absolutely. It's worth looking into that program for sure to reward those hostesses. That's great.
Yeah.
And then now, you know, we're right in the middle of our holiday hustle sales event. We just launched the November deals, and really moving into that holiday selling season. So is that going to play a role in these events or how you're selling? How are you going to lean into that and maximize for November and December?
Well, I will continue to post,
Mm-hmm.
and Truara has some really good ideas, and I work with that, what you guys
Yeah.
give me. And Diane and Nanette and I talk a lot about
Good.
things that come up, that how we can use it on our groups. Um, I'll just continue to post,
Yeah.
research what you guys are sending us, and maybe try to do a few more lives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Some lives focused around those holiday merchandising deals that we're doing. I think that's perfect. But yeah, you're right. We do a really try to do a really good job at keeping that resource library updated. So you guys
mhm.
have those graphics, especially for the sales, for the holiday hustle sales events. So you're able to share those with your customers and inside your events and stuff. So
Yeah, I wanted to say,
mhm.
when we had the no makeup look,
Yeah,
and you did your video on that, that
yeah.
really helped promote a lot of
Awesome.
um, my Facebook too,
Oh,
because
good.
I posted that, and then I did my own following, your advice.
That's
So
awesome.
that really helped
That's good
that
to keep in
particular
mind for the
month.
future too. I love that feedback. If we can include more of those, that's great because we've got some color
Hmm.
on sale this month too. So
Hmm.
that's awesome being able to post those videos. And I love that you made one of your own too, right? So you can recreate that and show them how you did that as well. So
Hmm.
that's great. Okay. Any advice for someone who's wanting to kickstart? Maybe they're hopping in late on the Play by the Bay train, but they're really, really wanting to find those new customers. What advice would you give them?
Um, I One thing that really helped me
Mhm.
was a new neighbor here that came over for, I'm also doing in-home. Those that are in this area, they want to come
Yeah.
over to do facials and makeovers. And so she invited me to a women's group, a luncheon group,
Uh-huh.
but it's also a book club, although they end up just not talking much about the book. They just enjoyed
Right.
lunch together. Um, So she invited me and my neighbor down the street that was also here with me. And we just had the best time. That was 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And, through conversations with the ladies there at the luncheon, I had 3 more people come over for skincare and makeup. Um, and it just kind of springboards, you get
Yeah.
to know people. We went to the pool a lot this summer. I met a lot of people there. Um, Went to the beach, and one of my biggest hostess that I was just talking about a little while ago, I met her at the beach.
Oh,
She
wow.
was she was camped out right next to us,
That's
and
so
we just struck up
fun.
a conversation.
I love that
Yeah.
because it sounds like most of your customers are coming from really authentic situations and conversations, right? You're meeting new people. And like you said, it's something that you love to do. You're passionate about helping people with their skin and their complexion. So it's easy to come up in conversation, and then it happens so authentically. They invite friends and friends of friends, and it all happens. So I think that's great advice. I love
Mhm.
it.
I
Is
have
there anything?
several
Yeah,
people
go ahead.
that I have several clients that I invite them to post themselves on mine, and they'll post their picture, before and after picture, and tell how True Art has helped them. I had a friend recently back home. She has been a client of mine about 3 years with True Aura,
Wow.
and her house burned to the ground
Oh no.
several weeks ago. And I didn't find out about it until a week later when I had her on my mind, so I contacted her. But anyway, she said, they lost everything, including her True Aura, because she was
Oh,
using just about everything. And another friend of hers from another company brought her skincare and makeup,
uh-huh.
and it broke her face out so badly. And
Mm.
so when I talked to her that Saturday and found out what happened, I just went online and ordered her
Oh,
skincare and
that's awesome.
makeup. And yesterday she posted on my group a before and after picture. She's been using Truara now a week, and her face is all cleared up.
Oh my
And,
gosh, that's
she just did a
amazing.
testimony right there for me. And people
Amazing.
see that.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah. I
I'm,
mean, your
I'm
happy
constantly,
customers are your best advertisement.
yeah, I'm constantly asking people to send me pictures. Let's
Mm,
look at your progress, and I'll do a before and after. And can I post this?
that's great.
And I'll do a contest sometimes. If you make a post about your favorite product or what you like about it, or if you do a video, you get different points for doing various things.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, so I give out a prize at the end. I get,
That's great. And a great way to
yeah,
keep your customers engaged within your group too. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Because getting them to take a picture is really hard at times, but I stay on them. And for the most part, they're glad to do it for me.
I
But every
love it.
now and then I'll get a few that, no, I'm not going to take a picture.
Right. And so then a friendly competition, right? That's perfect. Earn
Yeah.
something for taking a picture. That's great. I love it. And those are absolutely awesome, awesome tips to kind of get started with some new customers. So now, we've started in this holiday hustle sales event. We've got our share app, and this is the season where it's great to connect, right? You're connecting with new people, reaching out to old friends, things like that. We have our executive director, Tammy Clary here. And she kind of brought an idea to our team from her team that is now available to all of you guys. And that idea is the skincare menu. So if you haven't seen it, it's a super simple, streamlined one-page document. Helps you move your customers to the right solution. So that can be found on your app. It's available to absolutely everyone. Would you say that's a good way to explain it, Tammy? Tell us about how it got started.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. Great ideas, Rose. I couldn't,
Yes.
I had to
I
listen to the
know.
recording to write all the notes. So thank you. But yeah, the skincare menu. So the way this came up is we all love set sheets. In the past, we've all worked on set sheets. We all sell from set sheets, especially in person. And, for me personally, I love for us all to be on the same page, especially my team. I love for us all to be on the same page. And the idea came to me when the home office, when you guys put out the condensed product brochure.
Mm-hmm.
So that we have the product guide online, and which is fabulous. But then you did a condensed version, which was the product
Right.
brochure. And I love that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day I was flipping through that with a customer, and all of a sudden and I thought, this is our new set sheet. And so I took that and made the set sheet, and we played around with it for a while, and it worked beautifully. And so before I really I had a couple of people on the team, and then I reached out because I'm not, listen, if you don't, your strengths and your weaknesses,
Right,
And
right.
I am not like, I couldn't get a couple lines straight. I couldn't get the photos completely
Uh-huh.
straight. So I reached out to the powers that be and I
Yeah.
said, hey, I have an idea. We've been using this. It works fabulous, but
Mhm.
it needs, can you straighten it a little? So
Yeah.
therefore we have the new
Here we
spreadsheet
go.
and the new menu. It's just wonderful. So what this it does not take the place of the app, absolutely, but it gives you something to have in hand. Now, I obviously run mine front and back, so it's just
Yeah.
one sheet. I also laminate it, so you can use them, you can wipe them off, use them over and over and over.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of them. So if you have the situation, if you're having an in-house party, or if you're at a, makeovers and mimosas or whatever,
Right.
martinis or whatever kind of party you're having, you can have lots of them. But the way they work truly is just, it's a great caveat between the closing, between showing the product, sharing the product. And then for me, there was always kind of that, okay, now I have to ask for the sale. Now I
Right.
have to do, what do I do
Right.
next? And so that's why we've always relied on some type of tool. So this is just a natural progression
That's
to
perfect.
hand out to someone. And then also, I have a lot of team members doing vendor events. I have people this
Okay.
past weekend, I couldn't get, I don't even know that I even have all of it, the accolades to share of who all did vendor events. But sometimes at these vendor events, if you're at a craft show or a car show or
Mhm.
somewhere, sometimes you may not have the best Wi-Fi or the best cell service to be able to pull up something to share the
Yeah.
links. I found that a lot of people needed something in hand to
Yeah.
say, here, this is
Here
our
are your
menu.
options. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And anytime, if you've ever had a great facial, if you've ever gone to anything and had anything done, you all know at the end they're going to ask you what you want.
Mhm.
But women, we do not do well at buffets. We don't do well when they just lay it all out. Most
Right.
of the time when you do something like that, they have it combined into sets.
Yeah.
Therefore, this is your menu. And
Yeah.
it's so easy to pick and choose. And what I found, when people look at the set, if there's something in there that they don't want, they'll say, this body care set, can I do it without the body cream?
Mhm.
Sure you can, but
Yeah.
remember the benefits, and then that's how you can, entice them and
Yeah.
share with them. Don't forget, it does this and this and this. And most of the time they end up adding something back in, but that's kind of how the spa menu got started. And I love, love, love the team now, because we personally don't have to recreate it. And now they're going to put little twists on it for the holidays and for
Yep.
this, for that, because we have a basic menu and now we're all on the same page with it. And then we'll have something updated for the holiday or for whatever season we're in, or whatever. So, and it also brings up the the preferred customer. It brings up TLC for you. It basically has everything that you need, so you don't have to remember anything. Because I know if I'm in a group of people, sometimes I forget, because you've got 6 ladies talking, 10 ladies talking, or sometimes even 3.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I forgot to tell them about TLC, or I forgot to do this, or so
Mhm.
it really gives you the option to do that as well.
That is perfect. And I love how effective that is, but also the fact that it can be used in person or virtually, right? Like you can pull it from the app and send it from the app, or you can print it out. Those who are doing vendor events, or if you're having one of those spas at your house or facials at your house, I think that's perfect. So how did you coach your team to do each of those things, both in person and virtually?
In person, I mean, I always just share how my experience, when I've got 2 or 3
Right.
people, and sharing your product, even if you don't share every product on the menu, I mean, again, think about when you go to a restaurant, even if you don't order everything on the menu. You sure read about it. And
Absolutely.
also go to your favorite part, whether that be the starters, the appetizers, or the dessert. I plan my meal around dessert. I do not want to miss a great dessert. So
Absolutely.
women are the same way with this menu. If you've got a glamour queen there, even if you don't go over glamour, you know what? They're going to stay on this page and they're going to say, hey, do you have this bare lip color? Do you have that
Yep.
bronzer? That let me see that. So I just share with my team how I close, and that is at the end of the party. I just ask, of course, if everybody had a great time, what was your favorite part, and then I hand out the menu. And I do talk about the product guide that I can give you an extended version, but this is everything that we've used on you tonight.
Yeah.
And then I virtually go through, remember, this is our core four. This is what we started with. And then just go through the specialty items and the anti-aging and, the treatment, et cetera. And then just work with them individually. So that's an in-person close.
Okay.
Now, virtually, because lots of people, even myself, we're doing a lot of virtual parties, either like Rose is doing virtual Facebook parties, or even the texting parties. I still do a lot of parties, sending out links and letting everybody text and do that. One thing that I have found, sometimes people, especially, it's crazy, but most people look at their phones and stuff while they're at work, which is on their other job, other jobs and stuff. It's kind of crazy. So I found that the spa menu gives them a really shortened, condensed version of the product brochure. So if they're at work, I can send them the spa menu and say, hey, check out the spa menu. It's got virtually everything we have on it. And then if you see anything you're interested in a little bit more in depth, I can send you more information. It gives them a highlighted version for them to kind of hone in on exactly what they may be more interested in. And it really, we've talked about this many times, virtually, it's all connection. When you're face to face with someone, you can tap them on the shoulder, and there's something about touching someone. When you touch someone, you connect with them on a deeper level, even if you just pat them on the shoulder. But virtually, you kind of are not at that, you don't have that level. So you have to reach them on another level, and that is through connection. And that is over and over and over again. So if you send them something to let them say, "Ooh, I like the way that looks." Even when I had these printed, and you know what, people, when it only matters the day it matters. I mean, if that makes sense, because I use the same print shop every time I get anything printed, anything done or whatever. And I went to pick these up. I just email it to them. And when I went to pick them up, and from having them printed and laminated, the little girl that's helped me forever, she's like, oh my gosh. She said, tell me more about this. She said, I'm sorry, I kind of sneaked in and looked at all your stuff. And I'm like, well, that's great, And she said, tell me more. I love that menu. And tell me more about this. She wanted to know about the specialty products. And again, I've talked to them in there. Maybe she was out that. Give her the benefit of the doubt, but she's seen lots of my stuff come through there, but it was just that day. And it was just the way it was all laid out. Yeah. So it really works. So I encourage you to send that out and over again. And then it just springboards you into that next layer of the product brochure, the product guide,
that follow-up,
a new product, all of the great holiday tools. I mean, just like Rose said, I was so excited this morning and to see all of the new social images that we have. And we don't just have one you have to use all month long. We've got many that you can use over different, there's so many different ones you can use. So it's not the same one you're printing all the time.
Yeah, that's great. No, that is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Tammy. And it'll be good to have a holiday version of that too. Rose, have you gotten a chance to use that menu yet? Or is it something that you're going to give a try going forward?
I saw that menu and I was very excited. I have printed out several off, and there's nowhere to laminate close by, but I'm going to find somewhere. But I put them in just sleeves, like the plastic sleeves in the notebook. Yeah. And I use them in person And I've even
Good.
posted some. Yeah, I love that. I was so
That's
tickled to see it. So thank you, Tammy.
Well, good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you found that. And if you haven't yet, anyone listening to this, make sure you go check it out. I also wanted to point out, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see my phone. Can you guys see that?
Mhm.
So there's a new What's Hot section on the app. If you haven't loaded your app, load your app and scroll down to the What's Hot section. And that's going to show any materials that are trending right now, or the most commonly used. So that's a great tool for you guys to use as you're moving forward with sharing. And there is that holiday skincare guide, holiday skincare menu right there on the What's Hot menu. And a lot of those new holiday gift guides too. So make sure you guys check that out. But Tammy and Rose, congratulations to you both. And I want to say thank you again for taking the time to share with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of
Been a pleasure.
course, I got a little spiel and then we'll head out. So I am so excited for all of you guys to have that menu, but also with a holiday twist. So be on the lookout for that. And then a fresh option for November for you to share as well. But you'll be able to find that in the app and the resource library. And remember all of those tools and the new resources as well in the app to check out, so we can move on to the best holiday selling season ever. And as always, this training is going to be available on the YouTube playlist, and we'll also share it in the consultant Facebook page. So you guys will be able to check out this training there and replay all the fantastic tips and tricks.